Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of New Tech Tuesday Tutorials. I am your host Richard Evans. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Today I want to show you how to use Adobe Premiere for live playback in Tricaster. Adobe Premiere allows you, via the power of NDI, the ability to play back video and or graphics with Alpha Channel directly from the Premiere software without having to render out any files in real time, maximizing simplicity and efficiency in your productions, not to mention being pretty dang cool. So, let me show you how it's done, son! Alright, so we're going to start off in the Tricaster 2 Elite interface. You'll see that on my interface here I have inputs 1, 2, and 3 filled, but number 4 is empty because that is where I'm going to be putting the output of my Adobe Premiere workstation, which I can use to bring in a sequence that I'm working on, or even bring in graphics with an overlay so I can use those into my production. Okay? So let's go over to my Adobe Premiere workstation, and you'll see that I am working on a sequence right now, just a few little clips, all right? And if I hit play, you'll see that that plays out, and I have a graphic on top of it, etc. Okay? Now, for example, I could simply render this out and then send this over to the Tricaster and have to wait for it to render, etc. Or especially if it's a huge project, that might take a while, or I can just have Adobe Premiere play that directly from the software. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is tell Adobe Premiere to set up to output as an NDI. So before you even go that far, I highly recommend downloading the NDI tools from ndi.tv. Those are absolutely free, and as soon as you have installed them, it's just double click the exe in there, and it will install these plugins in the background. You don't have to do anything fancy for it. It'll just automatically do it. Okay? So from here, we need to turn it on. So we'll go to the top of the screen in Premiere and click on Edit. Go down to Preferences and select Playback. Okay? Now you'll see on this screen here, what we need to do is enable Mercury Transmit so that it will send out a video signal. And under the video device here, you'll see that I have a checkbox next to NDI output. All right, that is the one that we're going to need to do to send this out via NDI. So all that you need to do is make sure that these two systems are on the same network, the Tricaster and your Adobe Premiere workstation. Have Mercury enable Mercury Transmit and put a checkbox next to NDI output, and that is pretty much all you need to do. So I'll go ahead and click on OK. And now let's move back over to my Tricaster 2 Elite, and let's take a look. So I'm going to go into input number 4 and click on the source drop down and look for all of my different sources. So I'm going to look for the name of the computer that I'm using here, which in my example is Richie Richie Rich. Here you go. So I have a few different things outputting right now. One is my screen capture so that you can see what I'm doing on screen here. But then this is the one that we need to look at, Adobe Premiere Pro. So if I select that, check it out. Now I can see the output of my project that I'm working on in Premiere. So if I go through and just scrub through the timeline, for example, you'll see that that starts to move back and forth. All right. And let's go ahead and hit play so you can see that playing out. So that's the same clip with the graphic on there. Pretty awesome. All right. So I can bring that over to program. Let's go ahead and back that up a bit and hit play. And let's take that live. Looks pretty good. All right. Hooray. She did it. Okay, cool. All right. So that's how you would play a clip in Adobe Premiere back into your Tricaster. But I also want to show you that you can bring in graphics as well. So say you're working with a Mogert motion template for graphics, and you want to bring that into your Tricaster as a graphic. What you can do is pretty simple. So I'm going to clear out all of these clips here since I already have that graphic at the bottom here. So let me just delete all of those. All right. And so you'll see that that is my lower third that you see in my Tuesday tutorials that I use all the time. Okay. And if we look on the Tricaster right there, you will see there it is. Okay. So one thing you need to make sure is that you don't have any other layers underneath it. That might just be a black layer, for example. So that will send out Alpha Channel automatically. Okay. So now what I can do is I can bring that directly into my broadcast. So let's go ahead and bring up input number 2. And you'll see my downstream keyer number 1. I have selected input number 4. Okay. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and take that on screen so you don't see it right away because I need to play it out. But let's go ahead and now play it out. So now what I'll do is I'll just hit spacebar on Adobe Premiere and check it out. Ta-da! There is my graphic in real time coming through with all my awesome animations, etc. And then I can make all of my changes to my Mogurt as far as the text, etc. directly from Premiere without having to export it to the Tricaster. So I didn't need to do anything fancy, literally just turned on Enable Mercury Transmit and NDI output, and that was it. You can now bring your projects from Premiere into your Tricaster productions like that. All right, there you have it, another super convenient and easy to use tool for your NewTek toolkit. If you like this video and want to learn even more about NewTek products, subscribe to the NewTek YouTube channel at youtube.com/NewTekInc. For formal NewTek product training, I highly recommend checking out NewTek University at newtek.com/newtek-u. And to find out more about NewTek products and services, contact your local reseller or visit our website, newtek.com. And as always, if you're posting your work with NewTek products on social media, make sure that you tag us using the hashtags NewTek, Tricaster, or 3Play. We love seeing what y'all are up to. Thank you again so much for watching. I hope this video has been helpful, and I'll see you again soon for another edition of NewTek Tuesday Tutorials.